you have this big property right here in Boyle Heights,
Yeah.
which is huge, and it's big. You have this giant building. We pulled up, and you have your own private street, basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's amazing. This farm. What are you doing with these lands right here?
So I have a business. So my business, I'm a furniture maker. So I'm a furniture maker and designer. So I everything I do.
Native Designs,
Yeah, native design
which
furniture.
is N8V
V
Designs.
And so I don't have employees, so it's just me. And every now and then my boys help me, especially right now in the summer. I got them working. So I um I make everything by hand. I try. It's all I've ever done since I was 7 years old. So I was like, well, I really don't want to work for nobody. And then when my first son was born, I was like, I don't want to go punch a clock. I want to be here. And so I started in the film industry, making sets and trade shows, all this stuff, and then started moving over to furniture because it's what I really like to do. And moved into this building 3 years ago. And while I was here, there used to be a community garden here, but they were putting up this 5G tower here, so there was a protest between the people that had the garden and them, but it was all open. It wasn't fenced off. At the time, we had a different farm. We had a different farm here in East LA, and we were shutting that down as well. But I hit them up and I asked them, hey, I could take all your trees while they do the construction of the tower. And then that's when they told me, oh, we're not coming back. I was like, oh, really? They're like, no, we're not. And I was like, okay. So then I hit up the owners who are nonprofit, and I was like, hey, I want to, take over that garden. They're like, no, we don't know we want to do a garden because of what happened last time. We don't want protests. And I was like, look, I'll rent it from you. We'll add it to my lease, and then I'm a tenant. You're not giving it to me. And this way, I'll put it on my insurance. I'll take all liability, all responsibility for the land, and I'll never bother you with it ever again. And they're like, all right, well, how much are you willing to pay? And I was like, $20. They're like, $20? She's like, a month? I was like, yeah, $20 a month. I was like, you're not doing nothing. It's all empty. It's full of trash that they left from the construction. The gardeners are not coming back. It's just a big old empty lot. I'll give you $20 a month. And then she's like, man, you got some nerve. She calls me back 3 days later. All right, $20. So that's what I pay for the whole property, $20 a month.
Nice.
So, they pay for water and all of that. So really, but I couldn't call it a community garden. So that's why it's called El Semillero Family Farms. So, because it really.
So they own the auditorium as well.
Yeah, they own.
And then you rent this the side building where you do your the native designs,
Yeah.
and then plus this garden that you
Plus the
created.
garden. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do they do with the auditorium?
They're a folklorico dance and theater company. Yeah, so that's what they do. They're a nonprofit, so they do that kind of. And them upstairs and we used to rent another building together also. So we had a good relationship. And they moved in first, and they're like, hey, you should hit them up. Maybe they'll let you rent the space. So I moved my whole shop here. So,
Nice.
And I've been in business now 17 years. So it's I've been in business a while, and it's I've been in business 17 years, but I haven't worked in 17 years. It's like I'm doing the thing I love to do. I wake up, and this is what I like to do. Like, it doesn't feel like work. So
I feel that this definitely doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
We're sitting here in the sun. We're kicked back in our chair, talking about the stuff that matters.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, and teach my kids some of the, my kids, they learn to weld and carpentry and all those things, and pass some of that along so they could hopefully one day build their own home, do the things they do. So I mean, they're going to choose whatever path they choose.
So you're giving back to the local community right here in Boyle Heights?
Yeah, so we do give classes, carpentry and welding classes. We'll do classes on how to raise chickens, farming classes, water reclamation, cooking classes. We do breastfeeding. We have other people that come in and give classes like breastfeeding classes, child rearing classes, things like that. So there's things that we still, and everything is free. So we don't charge. And it's we kind of, I feel like I have a responsibility. It doesn't cost me anything to teach somebody to raise chickens. um, the chickens themselves, they help me. Like, it sounds corny, but they help me emotionally because
Yeah.
I'll sit down under the shade with a chicken in my hand, be comfortable.
Chickens are a lot more friendly than you think.
Oh, chickens are so
Yeah.
friendly. So, plus we get eggs out of them. I don't have to buy eggs ever again. Um, I don't kill the chickens because my son doesn't let me. But I'll take. We'll take people out on hunting expeditions to teach them how to hunt, how to process deer and other animals as well.
And you do that on your
On the
land
yeah.
up there.
So we do bow hunting. So,
oh, sick.
yeah. So we go up there. We do bow hunting. There's wild boar. So, and then up on the land, we also take excursions of people and do other things there. So, how to build an adobe, how to create sustainable living systems and things like that. And again, everything we do is free. So I don't. I'm not a person that feels like, well, I learned all this and other than I should charge for what I know. I think it's my responsibility that I can't take any of it with me when I die, so I could just leave behind as much as I can. So I think if people could learn to hunt, build a house, grow food, raise chickens, like that, those are basic things that I think we should all know how to do, and I don't think we should pay for that.
Yeah.